Hello and welcome to another episode of Making Diablo clone in Common Lisp. So today I'm still continuing that stuff I started sometime before. I'm doing the actions framework, which is like for action that some character in game would do. So for instance, those actions would be movement or attacking or etc. Right, so I've been struggling with having, wait a sec, start that. Yeah, I've been struggling with having the proper storage scheme for that actions thing. So I think I've come up with something and just yeah, started forward. So right, I've had some amazing drawing of mine. Yeah, that one. So for instance, I have this move action or pick up item action or swing action or whatever, or track action, which is like move, but it this action would actually track some entity which in turn could move. Right, so all of those actions kind of have some parameters, so that would be like something like a structure, but again, for performance reasons, I'm having those as SOA, which means structure of arrays. So it's reverse, not the array of structures, but the structure of arrays. So that's a bit more performant because of, well, less cache misses. So, right, and the thing was, well, the hard thing I had was that I either have separate indices for those different types of actions, so that I can separately, well, store the information, everything is fine, but then again I can't have, like, for instance, this through index for them, and for instance I can't have like, for instance, the parent-child relationships between those actions, which I want to have, because, well, for instance, to pick up some item, you gotta to move to it. Right, so the other option was to have these long arrays for kinda each type of action, but that would mean that I spend extra memory. But then I would have the through index, the same index for every action type. So then this week I come up with this solution. So I'm having this kind of meta information for every action. And yeah, this meta information. So wait a sec. Okay, no problem. Right, so I would have this meta information. First of all, I would have the index, which would be the index inside every of all of those structural arrays. So for instance, here I've drawn some examples. So for instance, indices could be 111, but that would mean, and then I would have a kind, which would be the actual kind of the event, like the movement or pickup or whatever. And those would be, well, symbols or keywords, whatever. So then I could have the same indices here in IDX array. This would be also the structural array. So this is SOA. Yeah. And those, by the way, are 2, obviously. So those are SOA. Okay. So, for instance, I would have 111, but that would mean that this one is number 1 would be this move action here, so with the index of 1 in move SOA. Then I would have 1 in pickup SOA, which would be this one, and 1 in swing SOA, which would be that one. So they are all distinct, but again, I'm having some sort of through index that would be the index in this SOA. I would also have some nice meta information like entity and the parent of each action. So then I can have this parent-child relationship. Alright, so yeah, I was implementing that and I think I got almost all of the macroses right, the one for the action, def action, and the one for executor, which is the code that executes the action. Right, so yeah, I was going to write some code implementing those. So I think I would start with def executor, maybe. So this would define the block of code which will process every type of the actions. So I'm having right now the method execute action, which would take the keyword. I think I've made that the keyword. Yeah, make keyword. Right, so yeah, write the code here. Alright, so where would I start? So this one processes the action, right? So I would have to establish bindings, and I'm having bindings as a second argument. Okay, I would have to open the example of use of that macro. So that would be that one. No, that one. Right, so yeah, of course I would rewrite it a bit in a minute. So yeah, def executor, then action bindings, and then the actual body. So the action here would be move. I think I will start writing that. So now I don't have, I'm not really binding to a system here. So that's the change. Right, and I'm having this sort of, well, it looks like the parameter list. So I'm having target x, target y, and target. Okay, we didn't do that. Right, and yeah, it looks like almost like the function definition, which is cool. Right, but I would also have the entity here, which would be like implicit, which is not very good. The entity, right? Perhaps I would make the helper. Okay, I will focus on that. So it would define a method in which I would call, I think, this macro, which is almost like the one for components with action. So this would just establish the proper bindings with symbol macro let. Right, so I need the index. Okay, the type. Okay, why I've called that execute action in singular, but haven't put here the index. Oh, I see, that's because I want to do the enumeration here in that method. But then again, that's not a very logical name, execute action in singular, because, well, I'm executing multiple actions here. Perhaps I should call it like execute action type. Oh geez, I'm so bad at naming things. Right, so sort of execute action type, execute type it, typed action kind. Okay, how have I called this meta info? I've called it type. Right. Execute action. Okay, so execute actions, this one, this function, this helper, it executes like the all of them, like the full list. Right, and this one executes just one specific type. So perhaps I should call that execute action type. Or rename this function. Right, so I'm searching for a proper name here. Execute. So, well, this function executes all of the actions, all types. And this executes just a singular type. So, would it look that bad if I call it like that? Action type. And then action type. Yeah, okay, I will leave it like that for a moment. So now I will rename this generic, and yeah, okay. So now I probably should call that macro. So this would be with, okay, perhaps I should call symbolicate from Alexandria. Come on, symbolicate with name. No, this should be right type. Okay, I'm not having the name variable here actually. Action and then dash action. So this would call the appropriate macro for that action type. Right, so with that macro, then we, alright, then the index, some index, I would get back to that in a second. Then the bindings, which I've got from the macro. Perhaps I should even, no, okay, I will leave it just like that. So the bindings and then the actual body. So here we go. Right, so that's the macro call. So I should call that macro actually for index, and this index, right, so that's the hard part. This index should go over all of the actions of that specific type. So I would take this actions global variable, and perhaps I would need to use a loop. Right, so I would loop over like with some counter for index of type xnum from 0 to, no, not to, what was it, up to, down to, I forgot. Let me just check. So, from 0 to 10, okay, yeah, 11, yeah. Right, so this gets the the far end, so I don't want that. Was it up to? No. Down to? Oops. Down to? No. Below. Yeah, I think the keyword was below. Yeah, right. So from 0 below, I guess the count of that actions. I think I have some helper for the length. Yeah, here it is. So low actions length. So it takes no parameters, right? Actions, yeah, it takes no parameters. So and I only want this macro invocated in, is that the word, invocated, invoke. Anyway, I want it called only when the type fits. So only when, okay, I think I should have the array here as a width. So with types and with types equal actions type, yeah, actions type of star action star. So then for index, yeah. So when we'll ref the types, normal vector ref. So I want the yeah, right, I want to reference that access by index. Yeah, right. I reckon I had this ref as the safe and unsafe versions, but I guess that's only for setf. So yeah, okay. I want just reference that. So I want the reference types with the index. So when this would equal to that type, then I want to do that thing. Right. And I guess that's all of my loop here. So yeah, okay. So that's my macro. I think that's ready. Right, so let's probably see. Let's probably try some macro expansion here. Make some body here. Right. So the method execute action type with type equals to move will loop with types for index of that from 0 go options length. When that type equals to move, we do with move action index target x target y path. Oh, I think that one should be kinda quoted, I guess. Action index, or should it be though? I'm not sure exactly. Oh yeah, that's also a macro, which means it probably shouldn't be quoted. Yeah, alright. Print 1, that's the actual body. So yeah, right. Okay, cool. So I think that's done. And I could start actually writing that. Then I would have some other complications with deletion. I already thought about that before this stream. And yeah, basically I would have to call that okay, what I would have to call yeah, okay, I would have to call this roblotter pop, which in turn calls replace, which in turn compiles to just quite tight loop with just moving stuff, like shuffling it all over the place. So I guess in terms of performance it sounds bad, but it's not that bad because I guess everything for that tiny loop that this replace generates would be in processor cache. So I guess yeah, probably that's fine. And I would need to call that only when some action is deleted, which again also I think is not very frequent operation. Yeah, and then basically I would have to call this roblotter pop on all of those vectors, index, kind, entity, parent, and then for all of the corresponding things here. No, wait, here I wouldn't be able to do that because those indexes would become incorrect. I would have to keep it and then have some sort of deleted indices for every action SOA. Oh crap, that's already I'm already having some problems. Deleted, oh right, handwriting here is really awkward. Deleted indices. No, crap. Indices. Right. So, and then when allocating a new action, wait, how do I allocate a new action? So I reckon I have this with, yeah, I have this make whatever struct name function, which is kind of a constructor. So it does setf, right, it does setf, and the length is always a length helper, right. So I think I would easily modify that to take this index, to first try and take this index from these deleted indices, and then if that was empty, then to make this thing and grow the array further. Right, okay, so that one's kinda covered. I will get back to deletion later. Okay, so then the finalization code. Yeah, probably I should also do that. Okay, so I would mark that with large exclamation mark. Yeah. So I would need to add that to every action. Right. Then the finalization code. So what should finalization code do? I think first of all it should clear. Oh yeah, and right now, in terms of blocks of code that will interact with action, I only have the execute method, that executor. So perhaps I would need to have some sort of finalizer or destructor or whatever. I can't quite see the necessity right here, right now. The destructor, so to speak. The destructor, right. Okay, so let's think. What would happen when this, for instance, this action stops? So I'm not having speed as the separate value, I'm only having the exact current position, but I guess I have maximum speed somewhere. But anyway, when this action would stop, the movement also will stop, I guess. Right, so no destructor material here. When pickup event happens, yeah, I guess I can code some of those, like kinda the condition when this action should stop right in the executor, in execute method. But perhaps that would be nicer here. Okay, let's think. So for pickup, I would obviously have some code at the end, even 2 branches of code if the character has reached that item and it... Oh, wait a sec. That's about the movement. So the pickup will only happen when the character stands right on top of the of that thing. Right. Yeah, and here I should also think about this mimic thing. So that was, perhaps it comes from the some sort of old RPGs or roguelikes or whatever. But there was that thing in Torchlight, I guess, which is also a Diablo clone. There was something that looked just like the well, the thing with items, how it is called, the chest. It looked just like the chest, but when you come to that and clicked it, expecting some items to pop up, it would turn into a monster with this like the teeth that looked like the chest opened, and it was kinda grabbing you with that teeth and attacking you. So it wasn't actually a chest, it was a monster, but you well, the player hadn't known that until it clicked, until a player clicked that thing. So I also have to think here about that. So yeah, I guess so. Or maybe am I thinking too far already? Anyway, alright. Yeah, okay, I will probably think about that a bit further in the development, not in the pre-alpha stage, I mean right now. Okay, so basically I would have just one branch of code here, which would be, well, to pick up an item. Right. And then in swing action, the destructor. Yeah, perhaps I'm thinking too much, and well, anyway, I always could add that later. So anyway, the finalization code, right? So first of all, for every of those types, I should clear that SOA. And perhaps that's the time to make some helper in SOA which would clear that. Right, so I have like a global array and a global vector. I have this function global vector clear. So I guess I should have similar function for the SOA. So I would call that accessors. Why am I calling car accessors? Fine. Oh, okay. Okay, name. All right. So I would call that function. So if I'm having the SOA named, for instance, actions, that function would be called actions clear. So I only have to add the name and the symbol -clear. Right, so that's the function. I also have to probably declaim that in line, so I guess I would put that in let here. So the structure I would call it, or I guess something like yeah, anyway, let's call it the structure. Oops. Right, so this structure, yes, so it also would be in line. And it would take the SOA instance. So I guess I would just call the variable SOA or whatever. And what would that do? It will call that global vector clear on every field. So how do I get fields? Slot names, no. Slot accessors, no. Those just get the those just access the actual element. I want to access the field of SOA. Yeah, SOA slots, I guess. No. Slot names. Alright, so what is happening here? SOA slots. Why the name is here? Oh, the name is the parameter. Yeah, okay. Okay, alright. Slot names. So slot names. I'm still not following my own code, regarding to macro harp. How do I access the actual slots of that SOA thing? Okay, I have SOA slots, but that's like the full description, right? So yeah, I guess I don't even have the thing. So the actual accessors of those fields of the actual structure would be name, then dash slot. Alright, so perhaps I will just search for the name. Oh yeah, I guess I have it here. So I guess I have symbolicate name and then car S, and S is a slot, yeah, and slots, right. Okay, do I have it somewhere else, like in nice manner? Oh right, array accessors. Symbolicate slot names. Let's see. Name. Right, okay. So closest thing is array accessors. So how am I actually using those array accessors? So it gets here in A, and that's a list. Why it is a list? I mean, what's that second thing? Oh, it's just the right, just the list. Okay, I guess I'm getting there. So right, so here I should call. Okay, so I guess it should be map can or map car, map can, I think. Wait, why the parentheses then? Okay, so then I guess that thing here, right? So to map can I would feed some lambda with the name. I mean with array accessors. Let's call it maybe A, and that would be the list of A, just like before. Yeah, that one in line 91, and then well, that SOA, I guess. Yeah, right. I guess so. And then what I need to do is I need to call global vector clear on that, right? Right. So clear, blah blah blah. Right, and we array accessors. Right. Perhaps I could even fit it in one line. No, I couldn't. Or perhaps like that. No, that's not very nice. Okay, so that's my destructor. Wait, what? Why it is undefined? I mean, I just... Oh, def structure. Yeah, right. That totally makes sense. Okay, so let's see the macro expansion of that for some def SOA call, like that. So macro expand one of that thing. Okay, so where's my beautiful destructor? Yeah, that's a lot of stuff. Okay, where is it? Yeah, that one. The found actions clear of SOA. Oh yeah, the parenthesis, right? objective clear actions index, actions type. Yeah, otherwise, except for the parentheses I got wrong, it kinda almost alright. So should that be map car, I guess? Yeah, that should have been map car. Okay. So now I have SOA destructor, which is nice. Actions clear, right. Okay, now I guess I could call that here in finalization. Right, type. Okay, I guess I should also put some macro here, I guess. Perhaps I should make it a method, so I could call that from the usual function without macro trickery. Alright, I got this song called macro. That's appropriate. Okay, right, so the destructor, I want that for the action. Can I do that without method though? Oh, perhaps that would be simplest way to act. Okay, so I would have a generic called finalize action, I guess. Finalize action type. Yeah, I guess so. Finalize action type. And I would have a method here. Oops. Method. How call it? Yeah, okay. Finalize action type. Dispatched on the type which equals to type. Yeah, right. Yeah, so that would just call that clear macro, right? So that would be just symbolicate. So how my SOA code here is struct, right? So struct dash clear. Okay, yeah, okay. And I would clear the instance, which is which is global variable I've called storage in that macro. Okay. Yeah. Storage. Wait, perhaps I could have just said that. Oh yeah, I couldn't because, well, define global var with a star and it initializes only once. So yeah, I kinda have to do that finalization at least. Or initialization, but I would prefer the former. Okay, so that's my method. Oops. Where is the comma? Right. Makes sense. Okay, so now I have this finalization type, which I can call here. Type on that type. Oops, nope. Variable. Okay, so that's it. That's for the types, but I also have to clear those meta information SOA, these things which are index, kind, etc. Type. I've named it type, but anyway. So I need to clear. Can I anyway kind of remove? Okay, so I have global variable, but again I can't just set it to nil or whatever, because wait a second. I could have just said that to a new structure, and and the garbage collector would pick up all of the crap. Yeah, and it means that I perhaps I even don't want that destructor I've just made. Yeah, okay, I will just command that, because, well, perhaps I wouldn't commit that, but anyway, let it just be in commented form. Okay, so I don't even need that. I can just set up that storage to a new clear empty array, I mean structure of arrays. So just do that one. Yeah, right. That's kind of simpler. Okay, so search. Yeah, okay. And I'm calling it here. Wait, what? Finalize action type. Yeah, right. But I also need to clear the meta information, which I can also do with that trick, I guess. I can just set star actions, that one, with make actions. Yeah, nice. That's totally cool. Yay. Right, so that's my finalization, and I guess I'm already calling that in my main file. Am I? Finalize system, finalize entities, finalize actions. No, I'm not calling that. I guess I should. So, finalize actions. I guess after entities, probably. Not sure, but it looks like the place. Okay, finalize actions. Cool. Right. So, what do I do next? Yeah, again, I have this also hard stuff to make, which is deletion. I mean, not finalization, but the deletion of one specific action. But yeah, I will get to that later too. So right now, I guess I will just start implementing those with this movement example, which is, I guess, the simplest one. So first of all, does this work? Oops, how have I done that? Right. So I wanted to look at macro expansion of this move thing. Yeah, I guess not much changed since last time I've touched that. Okay, so now I have this. Let's try and compile that. Okay, that compiles, cool. And now I will implement the Executor, and I will just hope it will work. So yeah, now the actual refactoring begins, I guess. Right, and the first thing that I run into right off the bat is entity. So I should have the entity as implicit variable here, and right now I don't. Yeah, I wanted to make a helper, right? I wanted to make a simple yet performant helper which will get an entity having the index of action, but the thing is I don't have the index here. Well, I actually have it, here, but well. Oh, and I guess I should go with gensims here, but yeah, I will do that later. Right, so the entity, right? So I think because of the nature of that macro, I have this explicit list of bindings which relate not to meta information but just to information of the actual action. So where do I stick meta info? At least parent, entity, parent and entity. So I guess I could just implicitly stick them there using symbol macro and have them here named just entity, but that's not very nice. What else could I do? I could make, yeah, I can like stick those here, but they probably could mix with those bindings, so I guess I can't. I mean, I have two of those pieces of meta information, and perhaps I would have even more of those later. So how do I? Wait, I don't have those. No, wait. So how do I tackle this index? And I couldn't even stick the action parameter here because, well, the action is actions are SOA, so I can't have them. But I have the index though. Right. Okay. So perhaps I could have some variable here, the first variable, which would be the index, right? And then I can use that index to get either parent, entity, or whatever meta info I need. Okay, that looks feasible. Right, so for that, first of all, I would have to call car bindings, I mean cadr, of course cadr. And then I would have the documentation. I would obviously have to document all of that stuff I'm doing later, but now I would note about bindings. First one is action index. All right, action index. So I feed the rest of the list. I guess I can use rest here. Wait a sec, is rest kind of standard function? Yeah, I guess it is. Well, if it isn't CLHS. Okay, so the first of those I should stick somewhere here. I guess I could use also symbol macro here, right? But wait, this index. So this is like the global through index, which is okay, because, well, I need meta information, and that meta information is only accessible by using this global through index. And then I guess I already have the index variable which goes in that global through index, which means I can just replace it with cadr, I mean with car of bindings, or first of bindings, And this should do the trick. I wouldn't even need to make it against sim. Yeah, that's cool. So let's do that first. Bindings and index. Okay, where else I have index? Here. Oops. Didn't went well. Yeah, I guess I could just stick index here as the variable to make it slightly easier. So first bindings. Right, and then just replace it here. So index. So then here instead of variable just this, and then here. So that's it, I guess. And I'm having it already. Yeah, okay, cool. So now this means that I have put here action as first argument, and this action is actually first, global through index of that action, which means that I can get the entity, but I would have to use left, but whatever. So entity would be, how do I get that? I guess I call actions entity a ref. No, wait. Actions entity. Yeah, actions entity a ref. On what? Wait a sec. This. And what if I use actions entity instance? So this returns the slot of SOA, which is not what I need here. Okay, so then actions entity array of actions global thing and index, which is action. I guess I could write a bunch of helpers. Well, 2 of those actually. I guess 3. I have active flag. Yeah, I will think about active flag later, but right now I need to make it a tiny bit simpler here. So I'll make a function called action. Parent action entity first of all. Wait, is it already a function? Action entity. It shows me like the function. Wait, what? Oh, I don't need that. It's just the remnant of the previous iterations. Yeah, I completely do not need that. Okay, so I can safely make action entity, which takes index as, or called action also, action index. Action index, and just does exactly that thing. And I will also make it inline. This action entity, and then define a type function which takes array index. No, it actually can kind of take fixed num, and it would return entity also a fixed num. Okay, cool. Wait, what? Oh yeah, action index. Okay, cool. I have this helper, and I would probably need the parent helper. And I will also need active helper, but I think probably I wouldn't have this as the field, but yeah, I will get back to that in a few. Okay, so action parent. Actions parent aref. Action parent. Action parent. Here. Okay. What? The definition of action parent clobbers. Yeah, sure. I don't even need that. Wait, how? What? Jeez. Okay, so. Alright. Action parent, right. So. Oh, perhaps I should put those here after the action declaration. Okay. Right. So. What do I do next? Right. Action. Entity of action. Yeah, perhaps I wouldn't even put that in let. Wait, do I use entity a lot here? Yeah, I do use entity a lot here. Okay. So that's my entity. And then I can proceed with that code. So I can copy all of that and put it here. Alright, so one instance interruptible of that entity. We use coordinates, sprite, character, info, delta. Yeah, that's the one. So that's also some issue I wanted to tackle today. So the thing is, previously I've put that dt parameter, I mean dt value, which is the difference between time of previous frame and current frame. I've put that as the parameter to execute actions, then it was fed to execute action singular, and that way it would be fed here in def executor body. But I don't think that's a very good idea, because well, it just doesn't make sense to put that through everywhere as a parameter. So my idea was to make that a dynamic variable so that it could be accessed everywhere, or rather to make it a global variable, which would be just like dynamic variable but would add a bit of performance. So I guess that's what I would do right now. So let's save that just for the and go into that file here and tweak that. Right, so first of all I think I would have to rename it here. Yeah, so here's that dt. Yeah, another folder here. Right, so wait, why? Okay, in a moment. So delta time, right? So first of all, what type that would be? It would be the same time that get time returns, and get time returns C double. So I guess, oops. So I guess I should use double. Right. So I would make some global variable. Global vars. Time global var. Which one should I use? I guess the one that's for load time, right? Yeah, I guess so. And this way, I guess I wouldn't even need to sleep here, because this sleep was not to divide by 0 in FPS calculation, right? So I was, so where was that? Yeah, round 1. So when, oh wait a sec, current tick, tick. Oh yeah, I see. So Yeah, that wouldn't do the trick. I would still need to sleep. But but I would so okay, the load time thing it is, I guess. Let's probably go with the compile time one. So the global var would be delta time, I guess. Delta time, and with the initial value of 0 in double and some docstring here. Okay, so that's my delta time. Right, so here it means that I even could simplify system update. Okay, just in a moment. So I would set up that delta time. Oh yeah, the naming, of course. Right, so I would set up that to the actual thing here. So then I don't need that let. I don't actually need DP here. Yeah, sure. Okay. Process sections. Why that was here? That's weird. Have I run the semicolons? Yeah, I think I have. Process sections, then system update. Okay, let's just compile. Find variable DP, of course. Right, so I guess I would remove it here. And then I would have to go to systems to change it here. Okay. New on the list is incompatible. Yeah, I do know that that's incompatible. Removal methods. Okay. So I would have to go over all of systems, I guess. Or just search for system update. Alright, so crap. So I'm using that one here, but that's no problem. Yeah, well, I know I'm not good. So delta. Alright, so yeah, I conveniently closed my search window. System update. So I've changed that. Let's go here. I don't think I even using it here, which is nice. Def method, yeah, the empty def method, so I don't need that here. Oops. Right, and then the camera. I also am not using delta time here, and then combat system. Not using. That's cool. So, oh wait, what? Yeah, right. I will fix that later, probably. That's that has something to do. I mean, those warnings. It has something to do with my ongoing refactoring about actions. Right. So I was here now. That one. Yeah, I'm not using DT here. Here, yeah, I also can see the usage here. Wait, how I compiled the previous one? I think I had. Right, here, and in player system. So that's weird. I was using that DT only in character system, which was doing the movement. Weird, but okay. Yeah, and here. Oh, I even commented that. Alright, but still I don't need it there. Alright, so I'm done with that. Systems, map system, right. So, what is wrong? First section is called with 0 arguments, alright, but it wants exactly 1. It actually does not want exactly 1, it wants exactly 0. Okay, could not stack allocate. What can't it stack allocate? What exactly? I guess that one, that make a no. Type. I actually have no idea what it wasn't able to stack allocate, but yeah, that's a tiny performance issue. I guess I will get back to that later. So right, I guess I have everything set. So right, I was in character system here. Yeah, okay. So now I have delta time, so I can just multiply delta, okay, the one with the stars. Delta time stars. Okay. So then I check that angle to see if I still need any movement, which is weird, but it works. Then I check the length of the path, check if the if character is moving, then I stop its movement and switch to idle animation. Then in the other case I'm following the path that was calculated before. Then I get this direction X and direction Y. Check the collisions with other entities. If it does collide, I stop and stop the animation, I mean switch to idle. In the other case, I just do the movement. And that basically is it. Okay, fingers crossed. Yeah, it does not, it haven't helped at all. Okay. Perhaps it's time for some fast carbs to boost me up. That's nice. Okay, perhaps I should inspect the macro expansion for that crap. So, macro expand 1. So I will copy just a tiny portion of that. Just that, and then I would, let's say, print an entity. That's it. So let's see. F method aggregate action type, look with types. Wait a sec, I haven't recompiled the macro, have I? Yeah. But still some warnings. Okay, let's see. Advanced variable target 5. how is that undefined if I have used symbol macro let there? And then here variable index undefined but now used. Okay, I still have to look at macro extensions here. So for action, fx none, blah blah blah, actions none, when equals do with no action, target x argument path, and then goes the body. Okay, let's look at macro expansion on this, because well, that's also macro. Right, let index, wait, what am I looking at? With move action. Oh yeah, that's the thing with symbol macro let. Okay, we get the index, actions index aref, right? Then we symbol macro let target x, target y, and path. So how the heck target x was undefined there? Okay, let's print target. Oh yeah, I guess it's fine now. No, it's not undefined variable target y. Right. How the heck it is undefined? Right. So let's macro expand this. Okay, so what is happening here? We have symbol macro let with target x and target y, and we print target y. So what is the freaking problem here? I mean, that's just plain bonkers. So if I just copy that, symbol macro let, target y to be 42. And then, wait a second. Yeah, right. And then target y to be, I don't know. No. And then in that symbol macro let, then I print target y. That should work, right? Duplicate. Oh yeah, target, I called that. Right, so this works. Why the heck this is not working? Am I missing something obvious here? And even action is, wait a sec, that's perhaps because of that. Oh yeah, right, actions type, action, yeah, S, I've missed S here. But still, undefined variables path, target x, target y. Are you freaking kidding me? That's exactly what I'm trying to achieve here. Why are those undefined? Okay, so I'm using that macro here with whatever dash action, right? So if I look again at macro expansion for that def executor, I have it here. I have with move action. One sec. Yeah, and oh, that's perhaps because I need. No, I already macro expanded that one. There is a path, and it looked just nicely. So, okay, I will try and do that. I will first of all print target x. Yeah, and now I will just try and compile that. Defining, yeah, okay, no warnings then. Weird, That's playing weird. So in REPL the simplified version compiles and this version does not for some reason. Wait a sec, why it is pointing here at follow path? Right, that's because follow path is inline function and it references target X. Right, that's the problem. Okay, cool. And here, why stop entities, variable components is defined and used. That's also weird. So what stop entity does? Oh, right. I will also need to fix that or refactor. Okay. Right. So going back here. First of all, follow path. For this to work, I will need to fix follow path. Right. So I think I have it defined here. Yeah, I do. Follow path. So what follow path does, it just follows that thing that's in that path array. And the thing is, all of this stuff here is for is from the action. So actually, I guess, yeah, I will command that and change path action. Yeah, exactly. I guess I will just take the action as the parameter instead of entity. It will make much more sense. But still, I need those claims. Yeah. So follow path, which would take action. I mean, move action index. Right. So what will that do? Bind target path. Right. So I guess. Oh, wait a sec. I will need to call that macro then with move action. Yeah, right. And then the global index would be move action index and the bindings. Okay, I want to have the ability to pass nil here as the list. Well, not to specify those manually. Right, so which one was that? The actions, yeah. So nil. Could I actually? Oh, I could pass nil here already because I have this nice condition here. Okay, so just nil, or rather this one. Would that work? Move action. Right, so this kind of works, but I have no actions, so hence the invalid index or whatever. Okay, bind something like that, and then we set up the stuff. So I mean, this quite similar to what I had before. And yeah, path, new path, target X to car target, other target Y. Yeah, because I have consus in pairs of X and Y as path nodes. Okay, and then the angle. Right, cool. So that's it. I think I will even remove that. Wait, the angle. Oh crap. Why did I? Yeah, okay. So I'm also turning the character to face that node in that. which means that I need, well, first of all I will need the entity for that with this similar thing here. Right, so that's my entity, and then with that entity I need to call another macro with sprite, I guess, because angle is the attribute of sprite. Okay, so here we go. It's a sprite with left action. Here we go. Okay, that's it. So I think, okay, let's try that. Right, thought so. Right, so instead of index I have this long variable move action index. Would that do the trick? No, character entity. Wait, what? With sprite. Oh yeah, character entity. Just the entity. Okay, and now undefined variables x and y. Oh yeah, the position. So I need the macro with coordinate here. And now that should... oh, again, character entity. Right, just the entity. Okay, here we go. It compiled. Perhaps I want to look at disassembly of that. I will just locally declare some cranked up optimizations. Safety 0, back to 0, compilation speed 0, and size. Is that the option? I guess so. Right. Wait, what? Oh, size. Okay, I'm tripping already. So what's that? Some warnings here. Okay, I need to clean that up and compile again. Right, so do float to pointer conversion for the third argument of data vector set with offset simple vector. Okay, so that basically means that the boxing of some value is happening. But I guess it should happen because, well, I'm storing all of those in simple vectors. Okay, I will just quickly look at disassembly of that. I'm really interested about how it worked out. Right, so I already see some memory allocation, which is not very nice. Yeah, man, that's a lot. Okay, so what happens here? For path actions. Okay, so we got these global variable actions, and we go into coordinate system, into sprite system. Yeah, that's to be expected because we're trying to access those attributes. Move actions, we access actions again for some reason. And we access move actions, obviously to get those path, target X, etc. Then we go just array. Wait a second, why would we need to just array here? Move actions with the symbol, that's bonkers. What's happening here? Move actions, another tangent. Here, yeah, that's because of face target. Yeah, okay, something weird is happening here because of all of those symbols. I mean, what is that even? What even is? Right, so move actions. I guess it's something here. Move actions. I guess it should do something with that macro, actually. Move actions. So I have these move actions here as the storage variable, right? Right. The storage. So this storage leaked somewhere here. So I define the type, I define the variable itself, then the length helper. Right. I'm not even having this locked here. And the only place I have that is, I mean the only suspicious place is that length helper, but I don't think I'm using it here. Right. So what's happening then? Again, that's weird. Okay, I will have to experiment. So I will get all of those insane compilation options here. Right, and then I would have that that macro. So with move actions 0 and something like this, I would print, for instance, target X. Well, let's see what happens here. Okay, so we jump to, oh wait, what? With move, okay, with move action. So it thought it is, I mean compiler thought it is a function, but yeah, I've messed up the macro. Okay. Print. Yeah, so that looks better. How come this crap happened? So, okay. So I'm calling, what am I calling? With move action here. What if I just comment all that stuff and just do something silly, like return, I don't know, X. Or, yeah, X. From coordinates. So, some unused stuff here, and yeah, let's look at disassembly. Yeah, that's a lot nicer. So how come all of that happens? Alright, so wait a sec, why is it like a symbol? But yeah, I guess that's how it should be. Okay, so what if I get that back, but do not that setup? Some warnings again, and yeah, what does this gives us? Adjust array. That's weird again. Why would I adjust array here? Oh yeah, simple vector float. That does the adjusting, right? Yeah, adjust array, exactly. That's where adjust array comes from. Okay. That explains a bit of things, but this does not explain all of those. So let's do that. Let's set up path to new path. Oh yeah, I guess that's to be expected, because those are not symbols, those are actual values of that global variables thing. Okay, so let's get all that stuff back. Let's look at the assembly again. I don't quite get the memory allocation here, but okay. Right. Move actions. I see. I should probably optimize that macro, just like I did with components. So I have the similar situation. I was accessing some global storage several times, but well, I have it, and like here, if you notice, it also does the same instruction afterwards, like this move from RX +1. So okay, in components I got this similar thing, the similar macro, and for that macro, yeah, I've made it a tiny bit differently. So I had this let, and then inside of that let, yeah, perhaps I should have also added some ignorable declarations here, but yeah, anyway. So what I need to do here, I need to copy some of those wisdom here, so that this wouldn't happen, this references, multiple references to move actions. So in actions I need something more tricky. Right here, so I'm using slot exps. Where are those? Oh yeah, I'm building those here. Alright, and they use and save slot accessors, which in turn use storage. Right. So instead of those storage, I guess I need to use the very same storage, but kept in separate variable. And I guess the same goes for slot accessors here, so yeah, it also would be a bit more performant, this constructor thing. Right, so how do I name that? Because again, I'm very bad at naming. Right, so first of all I need the gensim. Yeah, how do I name that gensim? I already have storage. Right. Let's perhaps rename that to global storage here. Storage here, and then here with that VI trick work. Yep. How do I repeat? Yeah, okay, never mind. So global storage here. Oh yeah, here I would use the gensim, but anyway. And then here I make that, and then here, and also here, and obviously here in finalize method. Alright, the storage. So I will make that again in here, storage, and use it here. Okay, cool. So now I would have to set that before, so like here, to set the storage to global storage. Yeah, that looks awkward, to say the least. Does it even make sense? Because, well, this access to global variable is kinda quite fast already. Okay, let's see. Storage. Okay, and there we go. Well, it still accesses move actions several times, so I'm not really sure that did the trick. Why it accesses move actions several times? I should look at some macro expansion. Not that one, that one. Oh yeah, I guess I haven't changed that here. Yeah, right, okay. I mean, how does that even compile then? Right, so here I would let that one, I guess. Perhaps I should do that here. I'm not exactly sure. And perhaps I will do this one. Okay. No, it haven't helped. Oh, that's because I haven't recompiled the definition of the action, I guess. Yeah, right. Make move actions, define variable. I beg your pardon. Right, make move actions. Oh yeah, that's because I had to call the function there, but that's another thing, and that's a minor problem. But anyway, that's, yeah, that is right. Okay, so where was I? I was here. So let's look at this assembly now. And yeah, it got a tiny bit better, but not that much. So now it's 613 bytes, and it was 662. Oh, it's 50 bytes or less. 50 bytes. What's the word for lesser? What? Anyway, it's smaller. Right, that's the word. Smaller, but the same thing is happening there. I just access this variable again and again, and here doing some stuff with that. And here I think I can see the pattern too. Perhaps it did some optimization. So okay, where do we put that? We put that in RA. No, wait, in RAX, and then oh, right, and then we put to R8 for that thing, and then we should access it from R8. Alright. Yeah, well, so it is a tiny optimization, but I guess I will leave it. Leave that be. Okay. Right, so this looks kinda okay, and then the memory allocation is because I'm doing car encoder all the way here, I guess. Okay, so where exactly the memory allocation is happening? So we have it here at label 2. Where do we jump at label 2? Right, here. So if that does not happen, we do some moving again and jump to L1, or otherwise do pending introduction. Okay. Right. So which one of those assignments does that? Let's just try and recompile all of those. Right, so not this one. Perhaps some of those Carl other. Yeah, I would bet some of those. Nope, the allocation is still happening. Okay, that's just weird. Wait a sec. The path, oh, the simple vector. So, right, the path is simple vector. So, yeah, I guess that's why the allocation is happening. No, not because of that. Okay, well, anyway, if it wants to do its allocation, I will let it. Right, so I guess I'm ready with that little helper here. Right, and I'm interested how it will look without optimizations. Ooh, that's a lot of error handling, quite an awful lot. Yeah. Wow, it's like almost 3 times bigger. Yeah, that's intimidating, to say the least. Right, so where was I? The follow path. Now I got that, and if I try and compile that again, alright, that's the bunch of warnings here. And then again, right, now I guess I should go to stop entity and fix that one. Right, so stop entity also, well, I guess it will need to undergo the same refactoring follow path just did. So where was it? Yeah, here we go. Oh, yeah, so I have the to-do comment here saying that I could just remove the corresponding move action from the queue. And I guess that would do the trick. Okay, now I'm thinking, I'm calling this stop entity when the character is stumbling on some other character here, so if it collides with another character. And wait a sec, stop entity, do I really call it somewhere else? Okay. Character system. Yeah, I do call that in combat system for some reason. Start the blow. Oh yeah, that's the part of how do you call it? No, wait. That's when I when I was tracking some character, I mean some character was tracking another character, wanting to hit it with something, and then it chased it at some point, and it will just does that blow. So that's this case, and in this case I stop entity. I guess I will also refactor this. Yeah, right. I guess I will just comment it for the time being and then go back to that later. So here, stop entity. Okay, so now I'm thinking what would happen if someone or something was having that movement action, and then it has stopped because it collided with some something. Yeah, I guess it all kinda does the trick, because mobs will have some sort of AI, at least rudimentary, which will recreate this attack, or rather swing action over and over again. And for player, this also would have sense, because if I recall correctly, if in Diablo you stumble upon some mob when moving, for instance, to pick up some item, you would just stop and stand here, if I recall correctly. Yeah, I guess so. I'm trying to remember how it was done in Path of Exile, which is another great Diablo clone. Yeah, and I guess that was also the case there, if I recall correctly. So removing. Yeah, I guess so. It only makes sense. So instead of stop entity, I would need to completely remove that current target here. Which brings me to the topic of action deletion. So instead of stop entity, I would just remove current action. Right, and for that I would need to have, okay, first of all I would command, I think, stop entity. Right, and then I would have to make this action deletion functions or methods or whatever. Oops. Right, so delete an action. Right. Okay, that would be tricky. Yeah, I was going about that sometime before, so I would have to remove some meta information and then remove the actual info, then have the deleted indices thing. Oh crap. Okay, deleted indices it is. Wait a sec. I will just look again over those meta information stuff. So if I'm removing something, okay, if I'm removing something, wait a sec, I also can't have this replace function here, because again this through index would break in that case. I mean, those indices would change and it would change semantics of those parents or whatever. Oh crap, so I guess I would also need to have some sort of deleted indices here and then use it on creation. Yes. Right. And also the exclamation mark. Right. Okay. All right. So also with actions, I will need to have some, again, global variable, which would be growable vector, I guess. And I would name it, I guess, action deleted indices. That only makes sense. Action deleted indices. All right. So then the global variable. So it will be load time, I guess. So that's the name, and its initial value would be obviously make growable vector. Right, and also some docstring, or maybe not, I don't know. Okay, so the deleted indices. Right. And by the way, I think I can compile that now without warnings. Yeah, cool. Okay, but this is still incomplete because I need to remove current action. Okay, So right, so first of all, I guess I will tweak the constructor, which should take into account those deleted indices. Right, yeah, here, index. So that index, wait, it corresponds to what exactly? I think I've made a mistake here. Oh no, I didn't, but I'm not thinking where I should think. Right, here, I should tweak that index. So that global index, to get that I should first look in the deleted indices. And then if it's empty, then I should get this action line. Okay, so this is simple. I guess I could just make it right here, the condition right here. So if global active length of for of those action deleted indices. Wait, why it isn't singular? Yeah, I guess it makes sense because indices is in plural. Alright, so if... Wait a sec, do I have some sort of empty accessor or something like that? No, I guess not. Okay, I will just have to use this length 0, length equals... Wait a sec, I couldn't use it here. Okay, how am I checking that some of my growable vectors are empty? Oh, 0p. Well, okay, this makes sense. So if it's 0, which means that there were no deletions, then I just take the actions length, just the last thing. But if it's not 0, then I should take the latest item from there, or wait a sec. Okay, so I should think about how it would be filled. So for instance, I would have like those 3 actions, and then for instance I would delete the second one. Well, I mean there's no actual... Yeah, the thing is that for components there was the similar situation with deleted indices, and there was a place, namely the new game button, which was recreating all the entities, and I had to tweak that to actually have the deleted indices in the correct order, because it was deleting all at once, and I was kind of taking the last element from deleted indices, and so that the new indices would also grow, and it would at some point help CPU cache to be accessed evenly. But I guess that's not the case here, because those actions would be deleted randomly. And I think because of that I could just call global actor pop without index, which would return, I reckon, the last element. Yeah, the last element. Oops. Of those action deleted indices. Right. so it simultaneously is deleting the index and returning the value. Okay, cool. So that's my global index. I think this should process here. Yeah, okay. So that's that. Now I should make some sort of deletion thing, which would do that. Right, so I guess I should really use a generic here, because the process of deletion would contain two parts: the deletion of actual of meta information, and then the deletion of well, the actual action, the corresponding type. So here perhaps, yeah, that will be the generic, well, the method, and some function, maybe? Yeah, I guess so. Right, so let's start probably with method. I guess I should make the generic first. So that would be delete. How do I call those? Delete, remove. So let's look at components. I call it delete. Okay, so that would be delete action. Delete action with some type, and then with an index, I guess. But this time the local. Wait a sec. Right, so global. Okay, I need the global index there, but okay, the type and then the global index array, I guess, or maybe local. Yeah, probably local index would make more sense. Okay, so type and index. With, again, I dispatch on type by using the type keywords, and then the index. Right. And what would that do? Well, first of all, I need to put that into the that global vector of deleted indices. So global vector push the action deleted indices. Oh, wait a sec, this should be global index. Right, so I'm pushing it here. No, wait, that's the meta info stuff. I guess I should make it on the wrapper of that method, which would be the symbol function, which first does that stuff for meta info, and then yeah, so that function will only take the global index. So I guess I should name the generic differently, or okay, so that would be the function that does the thing. It deletes the action. Okay, I guess I will just call that generic do delete action. Right. So then I again don't have to have the index global, it would be the local index to that type. And then, oh, I guess I had it in buffer. Yeah, alright. So it would take the global action index, I guess. I reckon I already had, no. Okay. So this would, or rather just action. So I will just add it to docstring that, okay, so it deletes action, no, deletes action with global index action from further processing, I guess. Right. So yeah, we push that index to that deleted indices, and then I guess I need to make something so that this action is actually deleted from processing, so that like I should set active to false or whatever. Yeah, and by the way, I'm not even looking at it flag here. So then again, I guess I don't know, I will think about that later, because that's the part of parent-child relationship in terms of choosing which one should be executed right now. Okay, so I guess I could just set the type to like nil, or could I set it to nil? I guess I could. Or maybe could I? So if I call action type a ref with like actions index 0 and set that to nil, would that do the trick? Well, if you want normalize nil, not a keyword. Yeah, I can do that. I thought so. Okay, so how do I? Perhaps I could set that to some keyword which would never appear, or something, or some specific keyword. Okay, I guess to see it nicely in the debugger, I would just set that thing to something like deleted or something, because I guess I wouldn't have the action named deleted. That's just, that would be weird. Okay, so set action type a ref. I always remember which one is safe and which no, not that one. Which is safe and which is unsafe. No. Components and the so safe are with star, unsafe are without star. Okay. So I want unsafe indexes because it's already allocated. I know this index exists, and I want to do the same thing. I want to actions, the index action, and then set up that to delete it. Right. Do I need to set something else? I guess I don't, in kinda bookkeeping reasons. Yeah, right. I also perhaps want to switch to parent, but that's another story. That's completely another story. Right, so that's basically it. That's my delete method. And yeah, and I guess what we should do afterwards. Perhaps I could even not set those to any values. Wait a sec. I'm thinking whether I need these deleted indices for those SOAs for the actual actions. So how do I... Alright, I get this all allocation stuff in one go here. So I get the global index. Oh yeah, I guess I could do the same for that index. So yeah, I guess I need... Yeah, I do need that deleted indices here, at least for the memory consumption reasons. Right. So I would also need to do it here, right? So let's do this. So for every type of action, I would need the deleted indices storage. Global, why global? It's not global per se. It's kind of perhaps I should rename it to storage variable. That would make more sense. So storage to storage variable. Yep. And I would need another variable for deleted indices. So indices, perhaps without variable suffix. So symbolicate name, and then so now this one would be like move actions, and this one would be move action deleted indices star. Oh yeah, and that's the symbol. Okay, so that's my deleted indices. So I would need to declaim its type. This has to be global actor. Yeah, global actor. So then the type and then the global variable. Vars, var, indices, and that would be just make global actor. Oh, and I also need to reset those in finalization things. Yeah, right. So here, just in the same setup. This is to make global actor. Right. And I guess somewhere here, yeah, actions, and then set action deleted indices to make global actor. Here we go. So where was I? I reckon I was here. Yeah, so I've done the variable, and now again the same story here. I guess I can put it here to be a little bit nicer. Alright, so the same story goes for that index. So if 0p global actor line of those deleted indices variable. So we just do that thing. But in the other case, we do global actor pop from that thing, and we, yeah, from the listed indices. So that's that index, and then in do delete action method we put that here. So we just do global actor push. Okay, my Emacs finally started doing its thing. Yeah. Right, come on, Emacs, that's not funny anymore. Right, that happens. I guess that's because of that package that does thing with garbage collector of Emacs. I guess I can do just okay. Thank you very much. Emacs was scared of killing it with signal. Okay, so what I wanted to do here is to global actor push to that deleted indices, that actual index. And I guess that's it. I can't really do nothing more in deletion. I don't want to clear those to some default values because, well, again, for bookkeeping reasons and for debugging reasons, I would want to see those values later, probably. I don't know. And yeah, that concludes do delete action method. So now I should call that method here. So first of all, I set meta info, and then I do delete. Yeah, should compile that and that. Okay, so do delete action, and now I need to access that local index, which I can do. Yeah, I hadn't written the wrapper for that, but I guess I only will need it here internally. So I will just copy that expression and copy here. But instead of actions entity array, I want actions index array. So, and instead of action index, I want action, because that's how I called it, yeah, and also here then. Okay, so I think that's my delete action function. What do delete action with? Yeah, the type. I also want the type here. Wait a second, what is happening? Okay, that's weird. I'm pressing enter and it does not break the line. What is happening? Okay, now it works. Weird. Plain weird. Okay, so I also need type, and again I haven't made the wrapper here, so doing that thing. Actions type array. Yeah, that. Okay, that sounds weird. Now that's really weird indentation here. I mean, do delete action is generic, so why would you indent it like macro? Okay, I can do that. Yeah, I can. Right. So I will compile it macro, no warnings, cool, and then this delete action. Should I make it inline though? So I do grow like a push. Then I set there some crap. Okay, I think my Emacs again doing its weird thing. Okay, I set up some stuff here. Perhaps I should. Oh yeah, I've set it to delete it, so I need to do that one first. Okay, let's do that first. Global push, and then actions type ref. Yeah, okay, so now I have typed correctly. And probably I should put actions to some variable. I guess that would help tiny bit in optimization sense. So actions to actions. Right. Or actually, never mind. I will do that later, probably, if I want to. So, do I need to make that inline? Push, save. I don't know. Probably I don't want to. I will just leave it like that. But I will declare a type of that. So type will be function which takes fixed num and returns God knows what. So delete action. Here we go. So it compiles. Okay. So now I can actually call that delete action here. Would it make any implications? Oh yeah, I guess there would be implications. Delete action and then the parent action. The parent action. Alright. So the implication would be that that action is actually deleted when I'm continuing using that. But that's the last, like the last. Let's make it the last expression in that function. I mean, in that case of cont, and then that case of cont would be, yeah, the last one, and then I mean that would be the last thing that function executes. So yeah, I guess I'm good here, and that compiles. Okay, cool. So right, I think I've. Okay, probably I could even. I could start the demo and test whether that works. I'm not expecting that to work, but why not? I guess there might be some bugs, but let's see. Oh, what? Not located in that is primary function execute action 0. Oh, okay. I guess I have here I'm calling it incorrectly. So execute actions. Execute actions does what? Is LISP execute action type. Wait, I'm not even seeing any execute action calls. Okay, perhaps I should restart my whole list much and try and start it over. So let's just see. Alright, thought so. So what now? In what file? In components. Oh, I haven't really touched. Oh yeah, I did touch the components. Okay, the parentheses should be here, obviously. And yeah, here we go. Yeah, right. Let's restart again and try and quick load again. Okay, something wrong with actions. So what was that? Variable destructor is unbound. Oh, yeah, that's because yeah, right, I should have also commented that one. So let's try and do that again. Yay, it kind of works. Right, okay. So let's switch to package and try the demo. I mean, it should work, why not? Okay. Yay, it kinda not fails, and if I want to move? Nope. What number of key arguments? Make move. Okay, so I was trying to make move action, that's okay. Make move action entity, target X, target Y. So what is wrong again? I mean, it looks like a perfectly normal list for the arguments. Odd number, not even following. So let's look in that action in definition of that make constructor function. Make. Yeah, here we go. Entity. Oh yeah, I've seen the entity was with the keyword, and here it is not a keyword. Alright, so where am I calling that? Okay, I'm calling it here. Right, so it should be something like that. Let's try again. It definitely should work. This time. And move. Okay, it is not moving, but it does not produce error though. So right, I will need to debug that and see. Oh, it kind of worked. Wow. All right. Action. Valid index 2 first. Okay, I obviously fucked up somewhere in that constructor thing, or probably in deleted indices or whatever. So yeah, I would have to debug that, but that's the story for another day. So right, I guess I'm done for today, so thank you very much for watching, and get back next Saturday for more. So yeah, take care and goodbye.